What's going on, guys? So today is a beautiful sunny day and I'm enjoying a nice ride in my 2021 Toyota RAV4. However, there's 5 things that bug me, 5 things I hate about this car, and I want to make a video about it. So I'm gonna go find a suitable spot to park and we're gonna talk all about it. I'll be back. What's going on, guys? So today we're making a video talking about the 5 things I hate about my 2021 RAV4. So this one is the XLE Premium Edition, although I believe all 5 of my complaints would go for any version of this vehicle. So, to start off the list, and they're in no particular order as far as how much I hate these things, or how much that they're just a slight annoyance, but we're going to have to get inside the car to start this video off. So the first thing I absolutely hate about this car is the start-stop feature. Alright, so in order to show you this, I have to turn the car on, put my foot on the pedal, brake pedal, start the vehicle. Alright, see all the lights go off in the dash except for BSM. BSM on there is the blind spot monitoring. Alright, that is the little indicators on the side mirrors, which I happen to keep on for now. So what I'm talking about here is the start-stop function. Alright, there's a button right here, shows a little A with a circle around it. And every single time I get in the car, I have to push this button. Okay? Now what this button does is it deactivates the start-stop feature. Okay, you can see it's indicated there by the very bright orange A and off symbol. Okay, which PS reminds me of a check engine light symbol, and I have to drive around with this thing in my peripheral vision. So what this means is when you start this vehicle, if I do not deactivate it, every single time I come to a complete stop, it will shut off the engine. And that is to conserve fuel. It is to make a greener earth, I suppose. I can only guess that Toyota and a lot of different companies are getting all kinds of kickbacks for being environmentally friendly by having these vehicles shut off when they're not being used, essentially. Now there's all kinds of different things that will deactivate this automatically if my seatbelt's off, or I don't know, if a door's open. There's all kinds of different things that will not allow that to kick in. However, I cannot stand the start-stop function on any vehicles, and this is becoming more and more common. Again, it's environmentally friendly, it's supposed to be fuel efficient. You know, it's a giant race in the entire car industry to make cars more fuel efficient and therefore being more environmentally friendly, right? The less fuel you're burning, the less exhaust, the less gases, and so forth. So I hate this feature. If you guys remember when I rented that Chevy Impala, it had it on there and I couldn't stand it. It's just one of those things that's hard to avoid these days. It's not the end of the world, but every single time I get in the car, I have to remember to push this button. Here's an example of the start-stop function. Coming to a stop. Now the car's off. I let off the brakes slowly. It jolts the car, starting it up again. And we're driving. And let's say there's a stop sign. Come to a complete stop. Car's off. Now I forget about this. So when I let off the brake to go, the car starts and it jostles around a little bit, and I think something bad's happening. So the second thing that I absolutely hate about this car, we're going to have to get out to look at. Alright, it's actually under the hood. Let's go ahead and pop the hood. Take a look at this. Alright, so the hood is up, and I just need to find the hood prop here. Where's that thing that holds the hood up? Oh, that's right. It's actually in the hood. I don't know why they did this, but as you can imagine, when you're driving around, the engine gets very, very hot, and so does that prop. Okay, so let me just kind of balance this with my hand here. Alright, my other hand, which the hood is hot because I've been driving around. There is a plastic piece here, okay, but the plastic piece is still hot as well. Alright, so let me put that in there, and there we go. So I don't like the fact that they engineered this to have the hood prop in the hood. This metal bar is screaming hot. Okay, yes, they have a little plastic thing here where you can grab, but I just think that is a poor design. It's a little nitpicky. It's not a big deal. I don't have to access my engine very often when I'm driving, but it's something I just hate. Alright, so we're back in the car. I just turned it on. Now we're going to talk about the third thing I hate about this car. Alright, let's zoom in to our little digital screen here. You can see I have 1,890 miles on it since I've got it. Let's go ahead and scroll through the different options here, because one thing I really like about cars is when they have the TPMS sensors, okay? That basically tells you what your tire pressure is at all your tires. Now, on a lot of different vehicles, you'll just get a light if you have low tire pressure, but it won't tell you the number. With modern cars, they usually do tell you how much tire pressure you have in each tire. This is something I pretty much obsess over. You can ask my wife about that. I'm always constantly checking the tire pressure to make sure that it is perfect, and that is to prevent wear on the tires, because tires can be expensive to replace. So as I scroll through here, all right, seeing these different options, there's nothing here that shows me the tire pressure, but I know there's TPMS sensors in this vehicle. So what gives? Well, I'll tell you, but first I'm gonna shut the car off. They do tell you the tire pressure, but not in the vehicle. You actually can't see any of the tire pressure readings, the PSI readings from the car. You have to use their app. So let me take my phone out to show you this. Now, as you can see here, I'm in the woods currently, okay, which means I can't sign into the app because I have no internet connection. All right, so that is a huge bummer. Right now I'm going to insert what this normally looks like so you can see the tire pressure in the vehicle, which is kind of cool on your phone, but it should also be inside the car. Because it doesn't have it, well, I hate it. All right, so now that I have internet connection here, you can actually see the information from the Toyota app. So it shows you your car, which is kind of cool, I suppose, in case you forgot what it looks like. Obviously, if you have multiple cars, you can just, switch between them. Shows you the odometer reading, which is nice, all right, which is actually really cool, is it shows you how much gas you have left. All right, so you can see that remotely in case you're sitting inside your living room and thinking, I want to go on a trip real quick, but do I have enough gas? Well, you can check it out without getting in your car. All that's really cool. What's not cool is that I can't see my tire pressure while I'm driving. I have to hit garage, I have to scroll down, and there it is, tire pressure. Alright, so just got home. You can see the tires are warmed up a little bit, should be around 32, 33, but there it is. Alright, so I actually have a tire pressure reading, however, it is not in the car. I don't know why, I think that's stupid. So here's my fourth gripe about this car, something I really don't like. And that is the electronic e-brake. All right, I'm used to having the big old lever. All my vehicles always had it, or actually had a foot brake in some of my vehicles. But I just don't like electronic e-brakes. All right, so this is a gripe that can go for a lot of modern cars. But basically, when I want to set the e-brake, I have the parking brake button right there. And all I want to do is pull it up. And what I really don't like about it is the sound it makes. So we're going to see if you can hear it from inside the vehicle. So here it is. Okay, that's setting it. And then here's disengaging it. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a little sound clip from outside the vehicles. Yeah, that freaked me out when I first heard it. I didn't know what was going on. Now it does work totally fine, and to be honest, there's actually a brake hold function on this car that's really cool. All right, like I said, the technology is actually pretty amazing, but I don't like how the e-brake sounds. When I first got the car, it was automatically set to go on every single time you put the car into park. Okay, and that's why I kept hearing it, didn't know what was going on there. Luckily, you can turn off that feature. All right, I don't know why, going back to number one, you can't just automatically shut off the feature for the start-stop. I really think that the start-stop should be the opposite. It should be automatically disengaged, and then if you want to use it, you should be able to push that button that's over there. But that's just not how it works. So there's my number 4, the e-brake. I just hate it. Alright, so we are at number 5. The 5th thing I absolutely can't stand about this car is right there, the horn. This has the weakest, stupidest sounding horn I've ever heard in any vehicle. In fact, I'll tell you a story in a second here after I give you a quick little demo. So here is the horn on the 2021 Toyota RAV4. Now, that doesn't sound so bad, right? But it is complete weak sauce. I have my windows down. When the windows are up, you could barely even hear it. In fact, let me give you a little demo of those as well. All right, so windows up. It's just not my cup of tea at all. I'll tell you the quick story. When I first purchased this vehicle, my wife followed me in her Honda Civic, and when we were driving back, she was going the wrong way in the highway. She was taking the wrong turn, and so I laid on the horn. Beep, 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 beep. She never heard me. Luckily, she knew what she was doing, and she happened to get over at the last second. But it just kind of drove home the point that the horn is completely weak. I just do not like the sound of it. However, it doesn't bother me enough to try to swap out for a different horn. I know people would suggest that. Well, you can put an aftermarket horn in there. Luckily, I rarely use my horn. When people cut me off in traffic or do something stupid, I don't beep the horn at them most times, and I hate to admit it, but I'll probably just do something stupid right back. But I don't make any kind of noise. Luckily, because no one is going to hear it in this Toyota. And I do have one honorable mention for things I hate, and that would be right there, the sport mode. The sport mode on a RAV4. All right, so when you put it in sport mode, let's see, it makes it red in the background, which is super cool. You get really amped up. Yeah, why is there a sport mode in this little 4-cylinder car? Makes no sense. I did put it in sport mode just to see the difference. You do have a little bit of higher shift points, so it revs out just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly. So it doesn't really bother me that much. I'll just never use sport mode. I have gotten awesome gas mileage on this using the eco mode in cruise control. There's a lot of things I love about my car. I'm not going to get into in this video. Maybe I'll do a top 5 things I love about the car. And don't get me wrong, I really do love this car. It's just pretty much any vehicle, you don't love absolutely everything in it, you know what I'm saying? There's always something here and there, a little nitpicky, things you don't like. So I thought it'd be a fun video to make. These are the 5 things I absolutely hate about my Toyota RAV4, my 2021, but I do really love the vehicle. It is awesome overall. Just little nuisance things. The start-stop thing is definitely the most annoying. I just wish that it was a button to turn it on if you wanted to use it and you never had to touch it. But unfortunately, I have to push that button every single time I start my car. Now, it's not really a problem when I'm taking long trips, but if I'm doing some shopping and I'm in and out of the vehicle a couple times in a short period of time, I tend to forget to push that button. And then I'm reminded that the feature is activated because when I go to take off, I let off the brake and the car starts and it kind of, jostles the car a little bit, and it just kind of makes me wonder if something's breaking. I just don't like it. So anyway, that is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day. Let me know down in the comment section, what vehicle do you drive and what is the one biggest thing you hate about it? I'd love to hear it. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.